No parent looks forward to the moment when a 6-year-old suddenly starts dancing like a seductive pop star in a music video or announces she wants to look sexy. Yikes! So what's a parent to do? For starters, don't overreact. Joining us now with advice is WSJ Work Family columnist Sue Shellenbarger and Judy Vredenberg, president of Girls Inc. Welcome, ladies. Thanks so much for being with us. Sue, let me start with you. So it's safe to say, when confronted with the unpleasantness of seeing a young child act more like a teenager, most parents hit the roof. Is that right?
It's true. Parents overreact usually in one of two ways. They either say, "Don't ever act or talk like that again," or they offer TMI, suggesting to the child why it's not a good idea to behave that way. And in one case, you inadvertently teach the child never to bring up the topic of sex with your parents. And with too much information, you confuse the child.
Right, and you don't want to scare them. But there is, though, Sue, a calming truth about children's remarks about sex that you would like to share with parents, isn't there?
Absolutely. Psychiatrists and psychologists say that children really are not talking about being sexy. They're just talking about something much simpler. Maybe they want to get attention, or they want to have fun like the girls in the music videos seem to be having. Or maybe they want kids to like them, like that girl on the playground who pays so much attention to her clothing.
Right.
So it's important for parents not to make assumptions about it.
Or just parroting or imitating something they have heard or seen. And unfortunately, Judy, there are plenty of images for young girls to imitate. Isn't that right?
Yes, there are. It's very important at Girls Inc. And we would suggest that all of us help girls understand those messages that are out there that kind of are limiting, and develop some ability for them to think critically about those messages and get expectations from their families and other close friends and supporters that help them value their whole selves.
So important. So what are some of the ways that parents can do this? You say value their whole selves. So then is it important to say, you know, in our family, we value this and this over this?
Yeah. Yes, and talk about school and talk about athletics and talk about being nice to others, talk about other things that are really valued by the family, and really appreciating the inherent strengths of the individual girl. And pull those out. If a girl really loves to run, you can talk about that. If she loves to dance, that's great. But really setting the expectations of what's approved and supported by people closest to the girl really helps her to get messages that are valuing her whole self.
And so, Sue, you also say that parents can set simple limits, correct? How should we do that?
Very simple. Like, sexy is something for grown-ups to be, not for children. Set limits on the media, and also watch media with your children and talk about the characters. What do you think about what she has on? Is that good for an 8-year-old to wear? Be ready for questions. Think about what you want to teach your child about body image and about how they look and how they're valued, so that you can talk to them when the questions come up, which will always be at unexpected times.
Oh, I like that. You have to be prepared for that question. Like, Mom, is it better to be thin? Or, you know, Mom, do muscles make me look fat? Those kinds of questions that come out of left field, right?
Exactly. And preteens and teens in particular are famous for, you're in the middle of a carpool and they say, "Mom, why is dieting bad?" Or, "How come you're so much heavier than the models in the ads? And is that okay?" I mean, it's just crazy questions. Know what you really believe and want to teach your child about a wholesome body image and how you view these issues, so you can explain it simply when it comes up.
Very good advice. Now, Judy, what about when it comes to clothes? I mean, I understand you probably shouldn't have things in your daughter's closet that you don't want her to wear, but are there ways to compromise?
I think dress up is a great opportunity. Kids love to play imaginatively, and they can have clothes that make them feel very feminine or adventuresome or whatever, and they can use that in dress up and make believe. And then for everyday life, understanding that clothes are need to be functional, need to be warm if it's cold outside, need to be really comfortable fitting. And yes, it's fine to be oriented towards aesthetics and what's attractive on you, but that's only part of the functioning of clothes.
So, Sue, if your daughter is really craving a certain purple frilly mini skirt, but you think it's a little too short, maybe just lengthen it a little.
Right. It's giving a child choices that are acceptable and still fun. If she loves sparkles and sequins, that's fine. You know, she can wear them on her jeans. So it's just really important to give the child a sense of choice and not cut off all the sense of control she has over her choices.
Right. Now, but at the end of the day, I'm curious how we model all of this and explain all of this to our daughters and sons as well, that we obviously value other things, kindness, intelligence, athleticism, but looking attractive is not a bad thing, correct?
That's right. I think Judy gave some good examples when I interviewed her that, you know, it's fine. It's nice to be aesthetically pleasing in your clothes, but we want our family and friends also to see other things about us: our intelligence, our sense of humor, our athleticism, you know, our strength, our kindness. And so notice those things when you see your child showing those characteristics. And even for a very attractive child who is constantly being told how pretty she is, and Judy told me that in some cases, don't even talk about that at home, but notice other things like the effort she's putting into school.
Is that something, Judy, that you advise parents not to tell your daughter, that she's pretty?
I would say the question is one of multiple messages and balance. We do, though, have to counter the external messages that girls are getting told that beauty is very, very important, and that's what's valued, as opposed to other aspects of who she is, and as opposed to boys who get different kinds of stereotype messages and that you have to counter and balance. So I think for girls, it's really, really important that the girls we care a lot about hear a balance of messages and understand that they're whole people and that they as individuals have inherent strengths that we build on.
Keep the praise and the conversations well-rounded and balanced. Great advice, ladies. Thanks to both of you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Tanya.
Thank you.